Hey y'all, it's Matt. We're coming to you live from the Meat Church here on a beautiful night in Texas. And tonight we're going to talk to you about how to smoke the perfect turkey for Thanksgiving. So what we've got here today is a 13-pound fresh turkey. I like to brine my turkeys. We're going to talk about that. So when I do that, I don't want to get a pre-frozen turkey that's sitting in like an 8 or 10% brine solution. I've got an all-natural fresh turkey that honestly wasn't that much more money. 13 pounds is a great size for my family. I don't want to cook a huge turkey, so this is what we're going to go with today. So when I smoke poultry, I like to brine it. You're going to take a pretty sensitive meat, put it in your grill, your smoker. I want to give it the best shot at retaining a bunch of moisture and adding a little bit of flavor to it as well. So what we're going to use here today is our Meat Church Bird Bath Brine. This stuff may be the best product we sell. Came out with it last year, super popular. People are really happy with their results. Guarantee you this is going to give you the juiciest smoked turkey you've ever had. So what we're going to do with this is if you're smoking turkey, you're going to mix this with a full gallon of water. So we're going to grab our Yeti 1 gallon Rambler jug, which works great for this. It's got a gallon of water in it already. And like I said, when you're doing turkey, you're going to put the entire bag in it. It's also great for chicken. If you do that, you won't have to make a full batch of it. So real nice and easy, just dump the whole thing in there. We're gonna mix it up. Some people like to heat this mixture on the stove just to make sure it thoroughly dissolves. You can do that if you like. I'm just gonna stir it up really thoroughly, put the lid on it, shake it up. And then we're gonna put this in a brine container and let this turkey soak. So I'm going to use my Yeti loadout bucket. This is a food safe bucket, so I like to use these. If you don't want to use a bucket, you can use a brine bag in your refrigerator. I'm just going to drop the entire turkey down in here. And then I'm going to take the brine mixture, I'm going to pour it over the turkey. So the primary point of our brine is to impart moisture. So there's not a lot of crazy exotic flavors or anything like that. If you want to add some other stuff, you're certainly welcome to. If you wanted to add like some citrus, you could put some orange slices in. Some people think like things like whole peppercorns, we can add that in. Just make sure you've got enough water to completely cover the turkey. If you didn't have enough in the brine mixture, that's cool. Just add a little more to it and cover it up. Throw the lid on this and put this sucker on ice. So now it's time to put this turkey on ice. I like to brine my turkey overnight, so I'm gonna prep this the night like it is now, and I'm gonna put it on ice until tomorrow morning. If you're doing this in your fridge, just same thing, overnight. But we're gonna use the Yeti tank here to drop our loadout bucket in. Just put some ice around it and this will hold all night. Man, it's a good night's sleep. Solid 8 hours. Okay, I'm kidding. Magic of TV. We're gonna fake like we brined it overnight. So, you've brined this turkey overnight in your loadout. You're gonna pull it out. We want to make sure that we thoroughly rinse this turkey off so it's not too salty and pat it dry. And then if we're gonna do any trim, which we're going to, we'll do that. And then we'll season it and be ready to put it on our Traeger. Okay, so we're gonna smoke this turkey today on our Traeger, and you got a couple options. You certainly could cook it whole like this, just as is, season it, put it on the Traeger and go. Today I'm gonna take it a step further. I'm gonna remove the backbone and lay it in more of a spatchcock style. I like to do that because it will present really pretty. It will also cook a lot more evenly because the turkey will be evenly closer down to the cooking grate instead of having, you know, this part of the breast so much higher than everything else. So in order to do that, I'm gonna flip it over where I can see the backbone, and I'm gonna take a pair of kitchen shears. So these are Wüsthof shears. I like these because they come apart. I got these on Amazon, and I only use these for my poultry. So you wanna make sure you don't grab your just rusty old scissors out of your top drawer where your pencils and notepads and crayons are, and you wanna get some that are dedicated to food. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna take these shears, you could also use a knife, and just cut along both sides of the backbone. This will be the most difficult thing we do. It's really not that hard. I'm just gonna get in and basically just start cutting down through here. And right about here is where it's gonna get a little bit difficult. Put a little bit, maybe use 2 hands. Not that hard. Work your way all the way down. And see, we've got one cut right open. And so we're just gonna turn around and do the exact same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna spin this around to do this so I can grab hold of it. I'm just right on this side of the spine. I'm gonna repeat the process going down the other end. So again, this is a way to enable us to lay this turkey flat. I think it looks really pretty on a platter. It will also be a little bit easier to carve once it's done. Turn this around and go the other way. Hear the crunch. There we go, and you just pull it right out. So you certainly could keep this to make stock or gravy, whatnot. I'm not here to make soup today. I'm here to make big old turkeys, so we're not gonna worry about that. So once you pull it open, you can still see some of our seasoning and peppercorns in there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my knife and I'm gonna make a small incision. So if you just press down right here, there's a natural stop. You see it just stopped right there, just so that I can get my hands in here and crack this open a little bit. Just put a little weight on it. And I'm gonna start to expose this breastbone right here. I'm just making little incisions so I can get through this membrane and work this a little easier, because I wanna actually pull that out. You could stop right here, you could flip, and you could actually just cook this just like this, which is what a lot of people do. Again, I'm gonna go a step further, and I'm actually going to remove that. Let me spin it around here so you can see it a little better on camera. Putting a little pressure here, and then I'm gonna take my fingers and just go right down that membrane and expose that breastbone. Just run my fingers down through there, and you can just kind of see the whole thing. This is much easier on a chicken, but we'll get it done here, get it out. So I'm just gonna reach around, grab this thing, and just try to put in a little pressure here to push it up, and I'm gonna try to peel it out. You can take your knife, encourage it a little underneath, just kind of break it free. Doesn't take much. I just went in like barely, little bitty incision. Grab this bone. Now I've got my hands around the entire thing. Just pull it right out. It came out nice and cleanly. Took a little work, but it wasn't that difficult. I think it's worth it because after we cook this turkey, you don't have to deal with this when you go to carve it. Now this is going to lay extremely flat. So if I turn it over here, I can really demonstrate just how flat that's gonna lay for you guys now. So again, I like this because it's gonna cook more evenly, and think about how pretty this is gonna be when we're done. Just picture that on a platter after we've cooked it. So from here, I'm just gonna season this up and get it ready to go on the Traeger. By the way, we're cooking at 275 degrees today. I recommend pecan pellets or hickory pellets. I kind of want to go with a little lighter smoke to try to keep this really pretty. I want to stay away from your real heavy smoke pellets like mesquite or Texas beef or big game or oak, because those could make it just a little bit darker, and I'm looking for a real pretty turkey. So I'm going to grab my seasoning and come back and get ready to put this on. So now it's time to season this turkey. Remember, the brine didn't do too much to the flavor. It's pretty subtle flavor. Seasoning is really where you're gonna make the big directional difference in determining where you're gonna take the flavor profile of your protein. I recommend either our honey hog rub, which is an all-purpose with a honey powder added, or our D's Nuts honey pecan, which is the same with an all-natural pecan flavoring added. Today, I'm gonna roll with our honey hog. It's got absolutely the prettiest flavor. I'm gonna go pretty liberally with this, but I'm gonna apply it pretty evenly because, again, I'm looking for this to be pretty. You know, food's what our lives are centered around, especially around a Thanksgiving meal. You want your family to brag on how good of a cook you were and how pretty this was, so give it a little effort and try to put on a nice even application. So you don't have to put any binders or anything like that on here. You can just apply this seasoning, you know, let it sit for about 10 minutes or so, and that rub will really adhere. Once this thing appears really nice and wet, basically, we're gonna go ahead and put it on the Traeger. I don't see any reason to season way far in advance or anything like that, so I'd hit this, let it sit 10, 15 minutes, put it on the Traeger and be good to go. Again, we're gonna cook at 275 degrees today. This is probably gonna be about, you know, probably just 2.5 to maybe 3 hours cook, depending. So we're gonna put it on and come back and check it out. You know, so after I get this on, you know, if I want to try to even out the seasoning, then no problem, just hit it a little bit further here. This is the Timberline 850, my absolute favorite cooker, the easiest way to make amazing barbecue. Quite all right, if I get it a little dirty, I can clean it up later. So it looks nice and even. We're at 275, gonna close this baby up. I'm gonna come back and check on it about every 45 minutes or so, make sure things are looking right. So we're gonna check in on our turkey on the Traeger. By the way, this is my absolute favorite cooker in the world. The taste, ease, and consistency of this thing will make you a king for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna check the temperature real quick. I recommend a Thermopin MK4. I like to check in a couple places. I'm gonna check right here in the joint between the leg and the thigh, 140, we're not quite there. And I'm also gonna check here deep into the breast, should be a little less. So yeah, it's showing 123. This will cook a little slower. I'm targeting 160 to 165 in the breast. The dark meat will cook a little quicker. So while we're at this, while we're in here, I'm gonna open it up and do a little basting. So I've melted some really good butter here. I've got Banner butter out of Atlanta, Georgia. Really high percentage of milk fat. Great for grilling and barbecue. So I'm just gonna drizzle this around here real quick. I'm gonna try to get in and out of this Traeger, get the Timberline all closed up so this thing can keep cooking, not lose too much heat. Luckily, this cooker recovers really quickly, so pretty forgiving. I like to baste it a couple times in the cook, and I'm trying not to actually brush it. I'm just letting it drizzle. That's looking pretty good. Close this up, come back in here, check on it in 20 minutes or so. All right, so this turkey's been cooking about 2 hours and 45 minutes. I'm gonna choose to put a little glaze on it now right before it's finished cooking. So if you remember, we brined the turkey, added a little flavor, we seasoned it, really set the direction we were taking this turkey. And then if you want a glaze, I kind of liken that to putting sprinkles on a cupcake, just a little extra. Totally optional. Last year we glazed with honey. We've glazed with a Texas pepper jelly. Today I'm using my friends Firestone Robertson Distilling's TX Bourbon to make a maple bourbon glaze. I'll put the recipe down in the link below if you want to make this stuff. So it's nice and warm. I like to apply my glaze, you know, with 5-10 minutes to go in the cook. That way this glaze kind of locks in on here and it doesn't all completely run off. So I'm going to use the same technique that I used when I was basting with butter, just to drizzle this on here. So this is a nice sweet glaze that we have reduced down a bit, and it should just be a nice little highlight to this gorgeous turkey that's looking super, super pretty. You can also see that cooking this thing with hickory, not too heavy, it's a really pretty color. Traeger Timberline makes an absolute gorgeous turkey. Can't wait to put this on a platter and serve it up. All right, y'all, so we're at the tail end of this cook. It's been about 3 hours. Our turkey's sitting at about 160 degrees internal temperature in the breast. When I pull it off, it's gonna carry over cook a few more degrees to get it to that 165. We spatchcocked this turkey so it would present really nicely on a platter, and I'm gonna show you guys that now. That thing looks absolutely gorgeous. So I've got cotton gloves on underneath my nitrile gloves here. I'm not Superman, just FYI. Look at that. That's why we spatchcocked it. See how pretty it looks on that platter? So this is gonna be, you know, really nice. I'll dress it up with some stuff before we serve it to our guests. I can't take this much longer. It's time to eat. I wanna thank you all for watching. I promise you we're gonna do more of these, so stay tuned, subscribe to the channel. Thanks to our partners for helping us provide all this amazing, cool stuff to show you guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Check you guys later.